700 grade 12 school leavers affected by online selection mishap. Juffa wants foreigners to be prosecuted on shore. And Morobe prepares for round 5 polio rollout.
This is National EMTV News with Morobe Tulo.
A very good evening. Thank you for joining us. This is Wednesday's news. 700 grade 12 school leavers from 2018 have been affected due to a mishap found during the online selection process. EMTV News had received numerous reports of students receiving an alert that they had been selected and then being advised they were no longer eligible for the institution. Department of Higher Education Secretary Father Jan Juffa admitted there had been a mishap and said it was caused by institutions changing their criteria after initial selections were made.
Ishmael Alopia was one of the students affected by this mishap.
I was selected and I received the offer letter. Found out that my name was not on the second listing.
Ishmael is just one out of 700 students affected, initially receiving alerts that they had been selected and, to their dismay, another that they no longer met the institution's criteria. DHES Secretary Father Jan Juffa stating it was caused by institutions changing their criteria after selections were made.
We haven't done. We didn't program the software that the institution could not make any changes in the criteria. And what happened is students, first moment they look at it, everything is fine, didn't go back. But meantime, institution changed the criteria. The software said, yes, you're okay, got automatic reply. But the institution changed the criteria.
Father Jan saying they will fix the issue going forward.
More strict. So once the final mark is done, institution should not be able to make any amendments, any changes, because this confuses very much the choice of the student. And we have evidence that 12 hours before the deadline, still institutions were entering and changing. And this is very unfair to students.
But for those 700 students affected, Father Jan says some students have found a space at an institution, while most are in an admission pool.
Most of them, yes. Some of them were in admission pool. But we will see, because right now the admission pool is a reserve list. So all institutions have passwords to the admission, and all institution admission pool, and all institutions have selectors. So they look at the admission pool and they are looking if they can accommodate one or two or three.
The other issue DHES will be looking at is whether institution had given correct quotas for students. Adelaide Sirax Kari, National EMTV News.
The recent strike by teachers in Madang over outstanding teacher leave fares and entitlements has been blamed on the Madang Provincial Government Administration. PNG Teachers Association National General Secretary Ugwalubo Moana says about 1.3 million kina is missing, with only 700,000 kina paid to teachers. Moana says the Madang Provincial Administration must present documents to the PNGTA so checks and balances are done. The PNG Teachers Association is also condemning the standoff in Madang, where teachers have refused to resume duties. The outstanding entitlements are for the years 2017 and 2018.
So if the Madang province is claiming that they have only got 700,000 to pay the teachers, where is the 1.3 million kina? Where is the 1.3 million kina for teachers' leave fare? Our teachers in Madang also missed out in 2017 leave fares. We'd like to ask the province to also pay the 2017 outstanding leave fares for Madang teachers. Madang teachers cannot be denied.
The deportation orders given to the Chinese nationals who were found manufacturing illegal cigarettes in Port Moresby has been described as a way of perverting the course of justice. Northern Governor Gary Juffa said the Chinese nationals implicated in this should be prosecuted properly under PNG laws and not deported all of a sudden. Though deportation orders were given, Immigration and Border Security is yet to confirm if the Chinese have left Papua New Guinea.
A deportation order issued from the office of the Immigrations Minister last week states that the 4 Chinese nationals must be deported out of Papua New Guinea, while the 13 who are not in PNG should not return to the country. The deportation orders were based on findings provided by the National Narcotics Bureau days after a team of police officers raided the warehouse at Kennedy Estate, just outside Port Moresby. But Governor Juffa says these Chinese nationals should be prosecuted in Papua New Guinea.
Is the company compliant? It's been operating for 9 years, I hear. Suddenly they're being deported? It seems to me very strange. It seems to me that it's a cover-up. And perhaps you could even say that it is an attempt to pervert the course of justice, because these people have to be processed. The investigation has to be conducted. And those who are found guilty of having committed various offenses under the Customs Act or the Criminal Code have to be dealt with, have to be prosecuted. These could be some of them.
This case involves the manufacturing of illicit cigarettes at a residential area at 8 Mile. Inside the warehouse, police found large machines used in the production, repacking and distribution of Marlboro cigarettes, an American cigarette brand.
Is that legal? In this instance, I understand that they're importing a particular brand. It's a U.S. brand. Do they have the permission of that company to import that brand, repackage it, and then rebrand it and then sell it as another brand? If not, then this is a serious offense. And they're operating in a residential area. Is this a commercial area?
5 days after police made the initial raid, PNG Customs came out defending the Chinese company, Golden Borough Limited, saying it was operating legally.
As in this case, we have a company that has been operating for the last 8 years. And the company has complied with customs regulations. We've issued them customs license to operate. They've been importing, and only this year they intend to go into manufacturing.
However, despite a case registered criminally, the Immigrations and Border Security Minister has used his powers to issue the deportation orders, something that has disturbed the initial police investigations.
They have to be interviewed, they have to be processed. They have information about the operations there. You can't produce a thorough investigation report without their input. And that hasn't happened yet. We have to review and examine all the facts surrounding this situation. A manufacturing plant apparently licensed by customs.
Thekla Gunga, National EMTV News.
Darren Lockyer is a name synonymous with Australian Rugby League and a household name in Papua New Guinea. But what brings this former Bronco even closer to PNG is that he heads the business affairs of Myo Resources, the company promoting coal energy in the country. EMTV News spoke to the retired NRL star on his business venture in PNG.
The retired 41-year-old Australian Rugby League legend's next chapter seems to have started quite a ruckus in PNG.
My official title at Myo Resources is Head of Business Affairs. I'm also a shareholder.
Myo Resources, an Australian-based energy and mineral company, is venturing into coal and causing some controversy due to environment and climate change issues associated with coal. But also causing a stir is the use of rugby league to promote coal in rural areas of Papua New Guinea. Sam Friday, sponsored by Meowa, was recently in Eastern Highlands Province for the EHP Super 8 Cup.
Some people might be in conflict yet. Rugby league is a way to bring them together and try and resolve their differences. But look, Sam was there to do exactly that, bring people together. It was a great day for the people that attended. Always going to be people that are going to, be negative towards it, but we always want to tell our story and get the facts out there.
Northern Governor Gary Juffa took to social media to air his frustration before speaking to EMTV News about his views.
They used Darren Lockyer so that they could gain entry into this society, into these communities, just as they're now using Sam Thaiday, you know. 2 Broncos players. Broncos is possibly the most popular rugby league team in Papua New Guinea, the most followed. They know that, and they're using rugby propaganda to ease themselves into a community.
Governor Juffa also questioning the government's intentions as PNG has led the fight against climate change and the reduction of gas emissions.
What I'm also interested in is the fact that Mayor Resources has a clause in its project agreement, in its project proposal, that gives a hint that it is willing to pay those who facilitate this project. That sounds like a bribery to me, you know. And I have to go and have a look at those details, but I did see something that, you know, rang alarm bells about the ethics and morals of this particular company and what it's doing here. I think Darren Lockyer and Sam Thaiday should be ashamed of themselves. This country worships rugby league and rugby league players. And for them to use this platform to gain entry into Papua New Guinea so that they could push their dirty coal agenda, it's ridiculous.
Meanwhile, Lockyer says he trusts Mayor Resources' intentions.
I've always been someone that if I'm going to associate myself with a team, that they're going to be the team that I'm proud to be a part of. So,
Outlet Siraks Kari, National, EMTV News.
Meanwhile, Energy Minister Sam Basil says his department wants to promote another power company in PNG to compete with state-owned enterprise PNG Power. This comes after PNG Power's acting managing director said the company is not looking to coal as an alternative energy source. The Bulolo MP and Energy Minister says introducing coal would lower the cost of power as well.
We're saying that we want to promote energy mix. Now, coal was promoted earlier. Why? Because we have resources in PNG. We have a huge coal reserve in the Gulf. And also, our energy bill right now is one of the highest in the world. So we always say that for a nation to prosper, we have to bring the energy bill down. For example, it's costing 74 toya to 1 kina per kilowatt per hour for anybody to pay for the power that is supplied from the generation that we currently have, dominated by PNG Power. In our policy, we say that not only PNG Power, we want to promote another company to come into Papua New Guinea as well to compete with PNG Power so they can bring the price down. Not only that, it comes back to power generation. What kind of fuel do we use? Right now, most of our fuel that are used in generation is from fossil fuel, and most of this fuel are locked in an international price of Singapore. So if we start using coal, we can now decouple the international price, and we can have our own set price per tonnage when we have a combustion station that is established and run.
Morobe province will roll out round 5 of polio vaccination as soon as its plan for the year is reviewed. The Provincial Program Advisor for Health, Micah Yawing, says the plan should be reviewed by next week, with vaccinations looking to start before the end of this month. He says the province performed well last year and is confident for the same results this year.
Mr. Yawin says Morobe province has performed beyond expectations since the polio outbreak in the province. He confirmed that the province was able to meet the target of vaccinating 300,000 children in 2018. Records for last year have shown that coverage for rounds 1 to 4 have gone beyond each set targets.
1 to 4 was 190,440. And 5 to 14 was 351,746. The total was 589,280. So we immunized a total of 589,000, so 104%.
In June of last year, the Health Department and the World Health Organization confirmed an outbreak of poliovirus in the Morobe province. Since then, there have been 26 confirmed cases in the country, with 1 confirmed death. For Morobe province, the number of polio cases remains at 3. Apart from the polio program this year, Mr. Yawin says health teams will also be concentrating on other diseases such as measles, TB and cancer.
We already started the cancer, like polio. So that's in Leh district and Yuan district and part of Bulolo. So we already started the cancer.
Mr. Yawin acknowledged the various partnerships during the vaccination campaign last year. He hopes for the continued support this year. Charlene Airy, National EMTV News, Leh.
National Planning Minister Richard Maru says there is an urgent need for the country to have a national immunization plan covering all diseases that citizens can be immunized against. He has written to Health Minister Sepuka Temu requesting the National Health Department to immediately complete a 4-year plan this year. He said this was essential to meet the national target of achieving an 80% immunization coverage by December 2022. Currently, the national coverage is at 40% from 2018 as the base year. Maru says the re-emergence of polio is a clear evidence of total failure to focus on immunization as a key disease prevention strategy. Still to come on National EMTV News, government allocates much-needed funding for rundown CSC High School. Bulolo MP tells students not to double dip in scholarship funding, and Oro Provincial Government presents acquittals for the last 5 years. Stay tuned for the details.
Original, classy and elegant is our winning combination. At Queen Emma Chocolate, we are passionate about creating PNG's very own chocolate from locally grown cocoa. That is why, from bean to bar, we ensure the quality is at the core of our products. PNG's very own chocolate, perfect for any occasion. Share the taste of success with Queen Emma Chocolate.
Hi, with the help of Palmolive Naturals shampoo and conditioner, with these 3 quick and easy tips, I'm going to show you that more natural, beautiful hair is achievable. Step 1, massage your scalp during washing with shampoo. Step 2, apply conditioner to the tips of your hair. Step 3, gently towel dry your hair. There you have it. For natural, beautiful hair, use Palmolive Naturals shampoo and conditioner. Have a great hair day.
Are you looking for something to chew?
Yes, I am. But it's more difficult to find something to chew.
Not to chew something.
Me no kai kai boy, me kai kai PK tasa.
In our harsh and vibrant landscape, Dulux Weather Shield is the perfect choice to protect your building against everything Mother Nature throws at it. Worth doing, worth Dulux.
Technology is constantly evolving, creating opportunities to grow and connect globally. Telecom PNG provides you with the best innovative and flexible solutions. Our wide-ranging product portfolio includes
fixed line business system, fixed broadband internet service, metro fiber network, VSAT service.
You can trust us to take care of your business solution needs.
Telecom PNG, always there.
Papua New Guinea, the most diverse country in the world. Rapidly growing, rapidly evolving. Through it all, your #1 station has seen it all. The one station providing news and entertainment like no other. Stay informed and stay ahead with the #1 news bulletin with reports from our correspondents right across the country, covering news, current affairs, sports and entertainment. 4 million viewers right across the country. MTV since 1987, still your #1.
Welcome back to the news. Late last year, MTV ran a story about the rundown state of CSC High School after Prime Minister Peter O'Neill made a commitment to seek funding for the school. Yesterday, it was announced that 250,000 kina has been allocated for maintenance of this school. Scott Wyde reports from Leh.
In October, when we went to Siasi High School for a Lutheran women's gathering, the newly elected board chairman, Roland Martin, showed us the state of the Siasi High School dormitories. The floors were broken, the walls were worn, and there was little hope in sight for any urgent maintenance.
That's why you can witness for yourself the condition of these buildings.
Prime Minister Peter O'Neill, who visited the school, had pledged some government assistance. Then, yesterday, the district announced that 250,000 kina had been paid for maintenance.
Boys dormitory, 2 boys dormitory, girls dormitory, mess. And if anything happens, it's going to be first teacher's house, is a chaplain's house. For these 4, I want to maintain it with the 250,000.
It's a political commitment that will assist the school rebuild its ailing infrastructure. For now, the board chairman is quite happy with the response.
If they see a good, prudent management in place, man, they will come.
Siasi is an isolated district. The shipping service has returned, but the cost of freight and transportation still remains high. This funding will assist the Lutheran High School get back onto its feet after years of neglect, but there are still many others like it that need the same amount of attention. Scott Waide, National EMTV News, Ley.
Bulolo MP Sam Basil has told students from the district studying at Balop Teachers College not to accept corporate sponsorship if they are under the government's Hacker Scholarship. Basil said this today when presenting a cheque of 305,000 kina for 50 students who will be studying at the college this year. Since 2011, the district has paid fees for almost 200 students.
Bulolo MP and Minister for Communications, Information Technology and Energy said the money can be used to cater for other students who have been left out. Since 2011, Bulolo District has paid fees for almost 200 students studying at Balop Teachers College in Ley. This year, the district has paid 305,000 kina for 50 students. They have registered and will begin classes next week.
If they attract hackers, let's give priority to hackers and let the Bulolo District let one go so that we save money to invest into others.
The principal for Balop Teachers College, Jerry Hanigau, told the students to inform the administration if they want to remain on Hackers Government Scholarship or under corporate scholarship. Mr. Hanigau said the students will be screened after the registration to ensure they are on one scholarship.
The handful of students who are double dipping, they are on a corporate scholarship and then they go and get MPT scholarship. And they are on corporate scholarship and they go and get scholarship from Hackers. So these are things that we need to really stop.
The students under the Bulolo District Scholarship will serve the district for 5 years after graduating from the college. The Deputy Principal for Academic, Hilary Siamuli, challenged the students to make use of the privilege and serve the district.
Whatever is given by the district in here, you have the obligation to be as a student in here, learn enough and take something back in here and go back and serve the district because the people in Bulolo will be needing you over there at the district.
Julie Badui Owa, National EMTV News, Ley.
The Oro Provincial Government today presented their acquittals for the last 5 years to the Department of Implementation and Rural Development. When presenting the acquittals, Governor Gary Juffa said the province has been facing a lot of challenges in getting funds for development purposes. Despite the challenges, the province has acquitted a total of 39.1 million kina used over the last 5 years.
The funds acquitted and presented were the Provincial Services Improvement Program funds and Special Support Grant funds from the years 2013, 2014, 2015 and 2016. Oro Governor Gary Juffa said the province only received half of the PSIP and Special Support Grants from the government.
I'll say this because since 2012 until now, we have not received a single PIP project. That's very sad. We've submitted project proposals through planning. We've asked for assistance for rural electrification.
The governor said the province has been faced with challenges getting the PSIP and Special Support Grant funds from the government.
In total, we have...
he said funds were not received on time and the province suffers from less internal revenue. However, the little that the province received over the years have been used for development and acquitted for.
The funds that we have used are development funds, but I can tell you that a lot of it did not go towards development because we had to prop up our responsibilities to health, to education, to law and order, other recurrent costs. basically because these funds were not forthcoming. Those are...
Oro Provincial Administrator Trevor Maggie also said similar sentiments, saying the province has also been faced with issues of record management.
That is one of the major obstacles that we found out, trying to put this information together, and it's dating back 5 years, so you can imagine the hardships that we went through to the technical team that went through to put this information together. Reports.
The Secretary for Implementation and Rural Development, upon receiving the acquittals, commended the Governor for being transparent. He assured the people of Oro that they will work to make sure they receive funds on time.
We are actually working on a program called Equalization Program. Many members of Parliament have actually talked about this, whereby the least developed districts should get a little bit more than the urban.
The Secretary also called on all provinces and districts to have all their acquittals presented to the Department of Implementation and Rural Development on time. Rayon Lakingu, National EMTV News. Ijivitari district in Northern Province is embarking on growing its economy through agriculture, roads and the tourism sector. Ijivitari MP Richard Masere says the three sectors are key agendas in the district's 5-year development plan. Masere says there are many challenges, but the district has high hopes of implementing the development projects using limited funding and assistance from development partners.
With almost 16 months in office, the Ijivitari MP has high hopes of opening up services to communities in the district. Masare says the plan is aligned with the national government's medium-term development program 3. He also admitted there were challenges in matching development projects with limited budget allocations.
We haven't really put any keener value into this because I don't believe you can measure development with funding, because sometimes the costs are higher, sometimes the costs are lower, sometimes the economy is bad, sometimes the economy is good. And everything is controlled by the world market. So it's very difficult to put a keener value on something. But
focus areas for Ijivitari district in 2019 include tourism, roads, health and agriculture. The MP says not only delivering services is the key agenda, but improving people's lives and adding value to the national economy for prosperity. Much of that involves provision of opportunities to the people.
I believe the most important thing that we need to do is that while we are creating this avenue, we are also looking at how best we can be able to contribute to the national PES. Because once we contribute to the national PES, which is what our good minister is saying, that we can then run to Department of Planning and ask them to help us with other areas that we feel that we lack in.
With the national government pushing its development goals in the MTDP3, the National Planning Minister Richard Maru spoke highly of district plans.
You've got to think, how do you align to opportunities in the country? How do you align to economic opportunities that are before your district? So I challenge the member to, now that you've launched your plan, you really need to sit down and have a clear roadmap on what you want to do in your district.
Other stakeholders, both in the public sector and development partners, were present to witness the occasion. MP Masare says a fundamental structure is continuity in key projects for another 5 years.
I'm also confident that this 5-year development plan is also a plan that we can carry on into the next 5 years, because a lot of things we captured are things that we can be able to continue to work and develop as the district progresses in a form of development across, to ensure that we are able to provide a conducive environment for our people and business communities that want to come and set up in our district in Ijivitari.
Jack Lapava Jr., National EMTV News.
ECP Governor Alan Bird says there must be proper consultation for the Frida mining project before it comes into operation. The Governor made this statement when presenting the ECP provincial budget to Treasurer and Deputy Prime Minister Charles Abel in Port Moresby this week. He said funds have been allocated under the provincial budget to carry out consultation process with people living along the Sepik River.
Transport and communication.
Up to 400,000 kina was allocated under this year's budget to carry out the consultation process with people along the Sepik River for the Freedom Mining Project. During the presentation of the budget yesterday, East Sepik Governor Allen Bed said the people living along the river must have their say in the development of the mine.
We've had interest from NGO groups that want to come and present during this consultation process. I've even had an inquiry from the Native Americans in America who have been looking at mines and the significant impact of mines, both positive and negative, on their communities. And they're willing to come free of charge to help us.
The governor said many concerns have been raised by the people of Sepik. They say people's lives will be affected if the mine begins its operation. The Sepik River is a significant natural and spiritual asset for the people who live along its banks. Thus, proper consultations must be done with them.
So I want to assure our people along the river that, look, there'll be no hard and fast decisions taken on Frida. There will be a serious attempt at consultation, and people need to understand this level of consultation that the East Sepik provincial government is funding and wants to undertake has never been done for any of the other mines and mining projects, but we want to do it because I think it's important that everyone has a say.
Treasurer and Deputy Prime Minister Charles Abel also said similar sentiments about the Freedom Mining Project. He said operations on the mine will be delayed as proper consultations must be done with the people. He also added that the government is focused on developing the mine as it will bring tangible development to the Sepik River people.
But nobody's rushing, and certainly we're not rushing. We want to take all views on board and make sure that we weigh up the good and the bad. The good is that we very much want to utilize this project to give infrastructure access, especially through to up to Telefomin and eventually to Tabubil. And we want to also to, if possible, create a source of power generation for the region.
Rayon Lakingu, National MTV News.
You're with National MTV News this Wednesday. We go for another break and be back with more of the day's stories. Stay tuned.
Original, classy and elegant is our winning combination. At Queen Emma Chocolate, we are passionate about creating PNG's very own chocolate from locally grown cocoa. That is why, from bean to bar, we ensure the quality is at the core of our products. PNG's very own chocolate, perfect for any occasion. Share the taste of success with Queen Emma Chocolate.
As PNG's only ISO-accredited bulk haulage operator, IPI Transport guarantees the delivery of your critical cargo. Equipped with state-of-the-art GPS tracking systems and backed by an experienced team, you can rely on IPI Transport, part of the IPI group of companies.
I love the way you taste.
I love the easy meal.
I love family dinner time.
I love my true kind.
I love the quality. I love the yummy smell.
I love the energy and strength. I love my true kind.
So many reasons, all of us agreeing. So put on your t-shirts and let's all sing.
I love my true kind.
I love my true kind.
I love my true kind.
Let's sing it again.
I love my true kind. I love my true kind. PNG's rice, the very best rice. Let's get all love our true kind.
Welcome back to National MTV News. The Papua New Guinea Counselling Association is now offering 3 professional counselling training qualifications in the country. Yesterday, the PNGCA showcased the Certificate 4 in Counselling to higher education institutions and government departments to take on board. The association believes that counselling is a powerful intervention to help people overcome personal difficulties and work towards positive change.
Counseling has become increasingly used in PNG, especially as an intervention to support and empower survivors of family and sexual violence. Therefore, the need to ensure quality of counseling is critical.
We think that counseling is just volunteer work. And when we are now introducing this, we want to see the higher institutions to recognize that they need to provide this training. And so we are challenging them to look at counseling as a profession.
In the last year, PNGCA has made significant steps towards building accredited counselor training qualifications and making efforts to regulate the profession. The 3 professional counseling training qualifications being offered are Diploma in Counseling by APTC, Certificate 4 in Counseling, and Basic Counseling Training.
We have now our own homegrown Papua New Guinean contextualized Certificate 4, which we hope will roll out very soon when it is accredited by Department for Higher Education.
Guest speaker Mrs. Paco says this is an emerging profession and the need to ensure the quality of training is important.
Demand for counseling in the country warrants establishment of counseling services. That counseling as a profession needs to be recognized and treated as important and critical for healthy people and healthy and prosperous nation.
Wherever you are, if you are hurting, if you are unhappy with issues of life, counselors are there. And you call our hotline counseling, 7150-8000. People are there from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Lilian Sopera Kinea, National EMTV News.
Turning overseas now, and dozens of families are said to spend days out of their homes, and even more are being told to get ready to clear out if necessary. Many at night are facing the uncertainty of whether their homes are still standing.
Packing a lifetime of possessions in just a couple of cars.
Photo albums, obviously, a bit of silverware and paintings, any important paintings that we have. Yeah, we've even got our revenue PAYE declaration to make soon. Don't know why we took that.
Philip Hyde's property is tinder dry. It's been weeks without rain. And overnight the fierce flames came too close for comfort. And he was tipped off to be prepared.
And they said they may not be able to get back to give us another warning. So really that was the warning.
Just down the road, a field's become a filling station for the helicopters in this fight. Many have been going since first light this morning.
And what makes it so scary, do you think?
Just how fast the fire's travelling and the dry weather.
The speed of the blaze familiar to these Redwood Valley residents.
We could see the ridge was really burning, but we thought as long as it doesn't come over the ridge we'll be all right. Then it did, and about 5 minutes later we had a couple of fire officers at the front door saying, you need to leave now.
It was night then and quite dark because of all the smoke, and then you saw these sort of scratches of orange which became bigger and bigger and started filling up more and more space along the ridgeline. A surreal scene driving down the highway with all these fire vehicles parked up, flashing lights everywhere, dim sort of smoky atmosphere, road cones everywhere, and people just packing up and leaving.
Almost 9 months pregnant, Lucinda and her family taking no chances, spending last night in a local lodge.
All our baby gear set up, there's a bassinet there and a changing table and all the baby clothes and things like that, and it's like, well, if we're not going back to that, where do we go to?
And with the fire raging on, they don't know when they'll be able to return home.
You're with Wednesday's News. We go for another break. When we come back, some sporting updates in Trukai Sports. Stay tuned.
Original, classy and elegant is our winning combination. At Queen Emma Chocolate, we are passionate about creating PNG's very own chocolate from locally grown cocoa. That is why, from bean to bar, we ensure the quality is at the core of our products. PNG's very own chocolate, perfect for any occasion. Share the taste of success with Queen Emma Chocolate.
Are you looking for something to chew?
Yes, I am. But it's more difficult to find something to chew.
Not to chew something.
Mino kai kai buai, mi kai kai pike tasa.
In our harsh and vibrant landscape, Dulux Weather Shield is the perfect choice to protect your building against everything Mother Nature throws at it. Worth doing, worth Dulux.
Technology is constantly evolving, creating opportunities to grow and connect globally. Telecom PNG provides you with the best innovative and flexible solutions. Our wide-ranging product portfolio includes
fixed line business system, fixed broadband internet service, metro fiber network, VSAT service.
You can trust us to take care of your business solution needs.
Telecom PNG, always there.
Tonight on Amazing Race, 16 still remain, and who will be eliminated next on Race 8 of Amazing Race?
Alright, driver, very fast.
Teams heading to Harare, the capital city of Zimbabwe.
Can't fabric, so go that way.
Behind the Eastgate Mall, the teams will exchange their outgoing mails to get their next clue. Amazing Race, tonight 8 p.m. right here on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. To begin with Rugby League, the SPPNG Hunters will be splitting their team in two and having 3 opposed sessions. That is because they have no official trial match. But the issue of players being competitive is a concern. Will the players regard the opposed sessions as a trial match, or will they see it as another training session?
It's no secret the Hunters have no trial match, and their solution is opposed sessions against themselves starting this Sunday. But a team that trains together knows the game plan. The question of a competitive season amongst teammates opposing each other does not seem like the best way of unearthing a player's full potential. Will players see it as a trial match and not just another training run, where your weaknesses can be exposed? The Hunters answer, training is different from a trial match.
The competitiveness, I assure you, you've probably been to a couple of our sessions where we give a percentage, rating under 50, and when the guys play at everything above that.
At the end of the day, the players have no choice but to hunt each other down as enemies.
So, a trial's a trial, whether it be against ourselves or not. We encourage them to be competitive as they know they're vying for spots within the team.
Hunters assistant coach Nigel Hukula knows what positive would have come about if there were trial matches between others apart from themselves.
We'd love to have the opportunity to play against other ISC competition teams or an NRL team to get that little bit of experience. But needless to say, whatever happens from there, it doesn't really determine where we'll end up at the end of the season. Nigel confirmed that securing trial matches was the job of the administration, depending though on the availability and schedules of the desired teams. From the Queensland Inter Super Cup are already affiliates to a NRL team, so they like to see how the fringe players or the full-time players go against each other, and then if the availability of any spaces to play anyone else, that then becomes open through dialogue. So yeah, it's really an administrative thing, and we just go with what's available for us.
Fidelis Sukina, National EMTV Sports.
Still on Rugby League last weekend, so round one of the Championship, the UK's Tier 2 Rugby League competition, the competition where former SPPNG Hunters are currently in. So far, a good start by the Featherstone Rovers, but they went down 17-16 to Bradford Bulls.
Contrasting weather to Papua New Guinea, very cold and a heavy track, was Watson's response during a brief chat on Facebook with the Papua New Guinean export.
Know each other and just try to know each other's game. And
he and brother Aseboas, along with fellow Papua New Guinean Thompson Tete, are braving the bone-chilling conditions of West Yorkshire, England, at the Tier 2 club, the Featherstone Rovers. Tete and Watson were first to arrive, with Ase arriving late after sorting out visa issues. The trio are proving their worth as imports, with Thompson Tete earning a hat-trick in a losing effort against Super League side Leeds Rhinos in their trial match. The combination of the Boas brothers showed just a glimpse of its potential when Watson scored off an Ase kick.
And it's a try to Featherstone Rovers because I think Elliott...
But the team lost their round one match of the championship against Bradford Bulls, 17 points to 16.
Chisholm strikes him! Chisholm with a one-pointer!
In another twist, Watson has been given the honours of being the club's first choice kicker over Ase, who is the Hunters' top goal scorer. The team is preparing well for round two of the competition. Watson and Ase are being heavily promoted on the Rovers website and on their social media platforms. And Watson has been named as one of the 5 players to look out for in the Champions League in 2019. It's early days, but there is nothing these Kumus players can't cope with. And they surely have the backing of the Rovers fans and Papua New Guinea as well. Fideli Sukina, National, EMTV Sports.
Don't go anywhere, we'll have more of Trukai Sports after these messages. Stay tuned.
Trukai Sports.
Original, classy and elegant is our winning combination. At Queen Emma Chocolate, we are passionate about creating PNG's very own chocolate from locally grown cocoa. That is why, from bean to bar, we ensure the quality is at the core of our products. PNG's very own chocolate, perfect for any occasion. Share the taste of success with Queen Emma Chocolate.
At Brian Bell Home Centers, we know that good sports always win. Whether you're kicking the goal for your team or reaching for great heights, pushing a little harder to go that extra mile to achieve your personal best. So when you're ready to unleash the champion within, go to Brian Bell Home Centers. We have everything you need to make your sports activities a winning experience.
Bomb chicka wow wow. Bomb chicka wow wow. Bomb chicka wow wow. Wow wow.
We've improved the formula. New links with added.
Bomb chicka wow wow.
This Thursday on Sports In, Pacific Games preparations take shape as a number of national teams confirm the final squads. PNG's elite football competition, the National Soccer League, returns. Intercity Cup team Wagyu Tumba loses major sponsor and more. Join us at 8:30 p.m. right here on your number one to watch, EMTV.
I love the way you taste.
I love the easy meal.
I love family dinner time.
I love my true kind.
I love the quality. I love the yummy smell.
I love the energy and strength.
I love my true kind.
So many reasons, all of us agreeing. So put on your t-shirts and let's all sing.
I love my true kind.
I love my true kind.
I love my true kind.
Let's sing it again.
I love my true kind.
I love my true kind.
I love my true kind. PNG's rice,
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. 18 students from IEA TAFE received certificates from High Performance Sport through the Emerging Talent Scholarship Program. The students will take up a one-year scholarship program with High Performance Sports, where 6 months will be spent on specific programs, while the remaining 6 will focus on gym activities. Godwin Eki reports.
These are the first batch of students to be engaged in the High Performance Emerging Talent Program under the IEA High Performance Sport Partnership.
Tertiary students.
Today, each student was awarded with a certificate for High Performance Sports Scholarship Program over the next 12 months. This program will be divided into 2 separate programs: sport-specific testing and gym activities.
Your first 6 months, you're going to do your gym session, your activity during your gym, and your movement with your flexibility with your body and stuff like that. After that, you'll do your body weight program, and then you do your sport specific. That's when we're going to send you out to the NF, National Federation.
IEA TAFE manager Chris Jones thanked High Performance Sport for partnering with them and challenged the scholarship awardees to make most of this opportunity.
And for our students, many of whom perhaps haven't had the opportunity to be selected for high performance sports, the opportunity to be selected under the Emerging Talent Scholarship is fantastic, and you can then add to your high quality academic qualification by getting exposure to high quality coaching in the sport and area of your choice.
In the coming months, students will be taken through a variety of activities at High Performance Sport to identify each person's strength. While it is still early days, scholarship awardees have been reminded that their hard work, attendance, effort and persistence will determine their chances for future representation in national teams.
It's a privilege for us. Some of us don't get any chances to go out schooling and sports activity and stuff.
I see sports as a stepping ground also for youths to get out and put themselves out there. And there's a lot of opportunities as well in sports. So,
in return for High Performance Sports Scholarship Program, IEA TAFE has offered scholarships to 4 elite athletes to study at IEA TAFE College. Godwin Eki, National EMTV Sports.
To some rugby union abroad now, and the Hurricanes in New Zealand Rugby have won the battle for the signature of All Black midfielder Nani Laumape, who's re-signed with the club for another 2 years. And while the lures of Europe and Japan are still strong, the family man couldn't tear himself away from the All Blacks jersey, at least for now.
To a no-nonsense approach when getting over the line. And when it came to deciding his post-World Cup future, Nani Laumape was equally direct.
At the end of the day, I wanted to play rugby in New Zealand, and I didn't want to leave, and it just came down to me, I guess, wanting to fulfill my potential and me having no regrets when I'd get older.
With 29 tries in just 45 matches for the Hurricanes, his bulldozing approach has earned him plenty of raps around the world. But still just 25 years old, the second five is seen as a crucial building block for the Hurricanes over the next few seasons.
It's no secret that Nans gives us go forward and attack. As you say, you can base a lot of your attack around that. It's also off the field, Nans is really well respected. And while he's not a really noisy guy, he's gained a lot of respect and leads in his own ways. So yeah, you're right, we'll build around him.
Today's announcement will also come as a relief for All Blacks management, with Laumape very much in the conversation when it comes to the All Blacks midfield. That wasn't the case for fellow Hurricanes and All Blacks Nehe Milner-Skudder, Matt Proctor and Jeff Tumaga-Allen, all heading overseas next year.
Everyone's in different situations in their life, and if they want to leave, they got nothing but respect for me, and I know it will come to a day when it's time for the likes of us to leave as well.
So it could be a matter of when, not if, Laumape looks further afield. Just not for another 2 years at least.
One Australian Rugby League immortal is doing his best to help another who's struggling to get to grips with epilepsy. Wally Lewis and Andrew Johns both captained the Kangaroos, and now they have something else in common.
Andrew Johns is in the process of dealing with a health issue that's changing his life. At this point, doctors believe Johns is dealing with a form of epilepsy. Well, how are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. Look, I've got full confidence in the specialists and the doctors looking after me. At the moment, sort of don't know what's causing it, but I'll get some more scans next week, so hopefully get some answers.
There was no more in-control player on the field than Johns, but he can't control his health. Public episodes are his greatest fear. The most recent when he was on holiday with his partner in New Zealand when he was out for 45 seconds. Are you scared?
I wouldn't say scared, just carries a little bit of anxiety of the unknown.
To help him deal with that, Johns has turned to fellow league immortal Wally Lewis.
Yeah, Joey and I have had a chat on a couple of occasions now, and football had nothing to do with anything in the conversation. It was all about epilepsy, all about seizures, what to expect.
Lewis has had the disorder for 25 years, and he'll be a good go-to man for Johns. He had surgery 12 years ago and hasn't had an episode since.
If the best result is going to come through surgery, I think I can say to him, don't be scared of it. I was absolutely petrified. I shouldn't have been.
Right now, Johns is making subtle changes. A healthy lifestyle is a priority.
I'm trying to do everything right, so once I know more from the specialists, then we can move forward and understand what is triggering these episodes and the way I have to manage it.
What Johns is certain of, the football community is behind him.
And that's it for Trukai Sports this evening. We go for a break. When we come back, a quick look at the weather for the next 24 hours.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Original, classy and elegant is our winning combination. At Queen Emma Chocolate, we are passionate about creating PNG's very own chocolate from locally grown cocoa. That is why, from bean to bar, we ensure the quality is at the core of our products. PNG's very own chocolate, perfect for any occasion. Share the taste of success with Queen Emma Chocolate.
Technology is constantly evolving, creating opportunities to grow and connect globally. Telecom PNG provides you with the best innovative and flexible solutions. Our wide-ranging product portfolio includes fixed line business system, fixed broadband internet service, Metro Fiber network, VSAT service.
You can trust us to take care of your business solution needs.
Telecom PNG, always there.
As PNG's only ISO-accredited bulk haulage operator, IPI Transport guarantees the delivery of your critical cargo. Equipped with state-of-the-art GPS tracking systems and backed by an experienced team, you can rely on IPI Transport, part of the IPI group of companies.
Something to chew?
Yes, I am. But it's more difficult to find something to chew.
Not to chew something.
Me no kai buai, me kai pike gaso.
In our harsh and vibrant landscape, Dulux Weather Shield is the perfect choice to protect your building against everything Mother Nature throws at it. Worth doing, worth Dulux.
The weather details were proudly brought to you by Dulux, celebrating 50 years in PNG and the only paint made in PNG.
A look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours in the southern region. Fine becoming cloudy for Port Moresby, mostly fine for the rest of the region. Tumamase, fine becoming cloudy for Leh, mostly fine in Wau, Madang, Wiebeek and Vanimo. To the New Guinea Islands, mostly fine in Longau, a shower or two in Kavieng, Kokopo, Rabaul, Kimbe and Buka. And in the Highlands region, a shower or two expected in Mount Hagen, Goroka, Kundia, Mendi and Wabek can expect cloudy weather over the next 24 hours. And there is a strong wind warning. Strong northwesterly surge of 25 to 34 knots with stronger gusts reaching 48 knots are expected to continue for the next 24 to 48 hours, causing rough sea and high sea waves. All small craft and boats are advised to take the necessary precaution before and after going out to sea.
The weather details were proudly brought to you by Dulux, celebrating 50 years in PNG and the only paint made in PNG.
And that's the way it is today, Wednesday, the 6th of February 2019. On behalf of the EMTV News team, pleasant viewing. Good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Paradise Foods and Paradise Beverages.
It's bedtime!
Fresh